Welcome. Settle in for about a 20-minute practice that really just allows the whole body, mind, nervous system to settle in, feel restored, recharge from whatever activity you were doing before. So let's start in child's pose. Make sure you're comfortable on your mat. Child's pose is when the knees are touching, the toes are touching, knees are wide, and we start to soften our hips back towards our heels, bowing the forehead down towards the floor. Allow the belly to relax, the ribs, the back of the neck. Take a nice easy breath in. And then see if you can soften to the chest, across the collarbones on the exhale. We'll rise up to all fours, tabletop spine. We'll start through the two spinal movements of cat and cow. Palms, wrists, and shoulders, knees and hips are aligned. Start to take an inhale, begin to allow the pelvis to lean forward. As the tailbone lifts, the belly softens, your chest glides forward. And as you exhale, start to tilt the pelvis back, allowing the tailbone to draw down. The low back, mid back to round as the head releases. And then you'll start to move through those two shapes, nice and easy. Keeping the palms firm into the floor. Rounding through the spine on the exhale. Let the head really go. Feel that nice stretch of the back of the neck and shoulders. Inhaling, taking a nice back bend. Tailbones lifting up towards the sky. Belly softening down. One more round. Just getting the spine to warm up. Inhaling and exhaling. And come back at a neutral. Sit back, wide knee, child's pose. We'll add on a side bend stretch. So we'll start to walk our hands over towards the right side of the mat. Let the forehead soften down towards the floor. Take a breath in. Take an easy breath out, opening to the side of the waist. Take your time to walk yourself back to center over towards the left side of the mat. Let the forehead soften towards the floor. Breathe in and breathe out. See if you notice that along the right rib cage, the right shoulder. And nice and easy, come back to center. And very slowly walk your hands up onto your thighs, come up onto your shins once you're comfortable. You can always take extra padding you have underneath the knees if they need support. And then notice there's a lot of length from your tailbone up through the crown of the head as you're balancing on your shins. And then we'll bring our hands to our hips. We'll let our right leg come out towards the side of our mat. You need to just drop your hands down to assist yourself. Once you're there, notice that the foot is in line with the inner knee. If that foot doesn't feel good, just plant it, just lift up onto the heel and turn the toes out. Bring your hands to heart center, take a breath in, take a breath out. Let the arms reach out in opposite directions, tee the arms out, flutter through the fingers. And as you flip the palms up, thumbs face behind you, elevate your arms up like you're moving through water. As you exhale, bring your hands to heart center. Pausing here, carry the prayer back up towards the sky, inhale. Clasp the palms, flip them up towards the sky. Maybe take the bend out of the elbows, soften through both sides of the neck. Let the palm come down towards the leg. Let the arm sweep up and over for Gates pose, Parigasana. There's an option if you want to try to bend at the top elbow and just kind of quietly place the palm behind the back of the neck, leaning back slightly. Take a breath in, take a breath out. Slowly come back when you're ready. Arms soften down by your sides. Take a moment to look at this right leg here. Start to plant the foot down now, having the heel in line with the knee. If you need that padding, still take your time to bring that padding under the knee. And then rest your forearm on the thigh, and then graze your arm across the collarbones and chest. Reach the arm up towards the sky, and then arm up and over for another side bend stretch. Breathing in and breathing out. Slowly come back to center. Carefully bring the shin back in, and we'll switch sides, taking the opposite leg out towards the side. Remember, you're noticing the alignment of the foot's in line with the inner knee. You can always keep the foot down or turn up onto the heel with the toes out. You'll notice which one feels better for your hips. Bring your hands to heart center, reach your arms out in opposite directions. Spread through those fingers, open up through the chest and collarbones. Flip the palms up, thumbs face behind you, and we'll elevate and reach your arms up nice and high. Feel the ribs lifting up and out. Take a breath. We'll add on something different on this side. Let's cactus the arms. So as we cactus the arms, we're drawing our elbows first down and then towards one another to open up across our chest and collarbones. Draw your gaze softly over towards your right shoulder as you inhale. Come back to center, softening, and over towards the opposite shoulder, inhaling. And exhale, a little stretch for the neck. Spiral your pinkies in, thumbs out, elevate the arms up towards the sky. And then very gently rest the palm down onto the leg. Let your fingers reach up towards the sky and lean up and over. Side bend stretch. If it feels good for you, you'll bend the top elbow. You'll place your palm lightly behind the back of the neck. You can lean back a little bit. Take a nice breath in. Nice easy breath out. Remember, the whole time here is about recharging, feeling kind of this beautiful reset to the whole body-mind system. Slowly rise back up. And exhale, bring your hands to heart center. Place your hands at your hips, look at your left leg, and now we're bending this left knee, planting the heel, toes face out towards the side, in line with the inner knee. Sitting up nice and up, feeling nice and upright spine, just rest your forearm on the thigh, and then start to graze your right palm across your chest and collarbones, reaching the arm up if this feels good. Even your gaze could follow, and arm up and over. This is a variation of extended side angle. Take a nice easy breath in, and easy breath out. Slowly come back up. Let yourself slowly bring the shin back in, and we'll find all fours, tabletop spine, as then we segue back into a widening child's pose. Let your hips soften towards your heels. Take a breath in, and easy breath out. Slowly start to walk your hands up towards your thighs when you're ready. Scoot your hips over to one side, and let your legs lengthen out in front of you. So we're lengthening them out for a moment. And then we'll bring ourselves into crisscross sukhasana, which is a seat that if it's not comfortable for you, you can always extend your legs out in front of you more in a wider angle. So you'll make sure you have a nice seated posture where your pelvis feels neutral, your shoulders are in line with your hips, and then we'll reach our arms up nice and high. Let's take a twist together towards the right. So as we start to spiral and turn, the front palms on the knee and the hands behind you. Once you're there, just allow your shoulders to rest on the upper back. Feel the turning of the belly towards the right side, the chest, the ribs. Really wonderful for your digestion to do these types of movements. Locate your breath, feel it expanding through the belly and rib cage, inhaling and exhaling. Exhaling, we soften through the upper back. Slowly come back to center, unwind the spine, elevate the arms up. Twisting towards the opposite side. So think about spiraling open. Front palm finds the knee and the hands lightly placed outside the hip to keep your posture nice and upright. Think about length from your tailbone through the crown of your head. If you like to look your gaze back towards the back shoulder, you can try that too. Take a nice breath in, lengthening from tailbone through crown, inhale. And then soften through the shoulders, back of the neck. Feel the belly turning, ribs, and just get that nice side opening. Real to the sides of the waist. Slowly come back to center. And as you exhale, right palm comes down towards the floor. Left arm sweeps up and over, adding on another side bend stretch. You can be curious about where your gaze is placed and how it feels comfortable in your body. You're welcome to look around. And you'll encourage your left hip to stay anchored down towards the floor. And as the right palm roots and then rises back up, pause. Cactus your arms. Let your elbows draw down and in. Take a moment there, just opening up across the chest and collarbones, breathing in, breathing out, spiral the pinkies in, thumbs out, and let the opposite palm find the floor as the arm sweeps up and over, side bend stretch. Noticing where the gaze is comfortable and really getting into that side waist. Feeling the ribs open up in the side of the hip, even the low back muscles. Take a nice inhale. Soften on the exhalation, and then slowly come back to center, reach up. And exhale, arms soften down by your sides. All right, let's do a little shrug of the shoulders as we inhale up. And as we exhale, relax them back down. Take your legs out in front of you, shake them out for a moment, and then we'll come onto our backs. So as you come onto your back, take your time, getting down there in a comfortable way, and we'll start in a full body stretch where we just lengthen out through our limbs, right? Feeling the arms lengthen, the legs lengthen, spreading out through the individual 10 fingers and toes, maybe rolling out the wrists, rolling out the ankles. And then nice and easy, gather the right knee in towards the chest. As you do that, let's start to lengthen our left leg a little bit more. Drive your left heel away from you. Keep the toes of the left foot up towards the sky. And continue to hug in the right thigh towards the right side of the waist. Soften your shoulders and neck, and start to roll your right ankle in one direction, the opposite direction. Taking your left palm on your knee, let your right knee draw out towards the side a little bit. Take a breath in there. And exhale, nice outer rotation in that hip joint. Come back to center. And maybe with your palm, with that knee, we just create little circles up towards the ceiling. One direction, the other. We're maintaining stability through this left leg and this left hip. It's not moving. And as you come back to center, pause. Bring your thighs slightly away from you. Bring your hands behind the back of the right thigh. This is your hamstring muscles. And let's lengthen this leg up towards the ceiling. Once you're there, hands can come behind the back of the leg. Soften your shoulders and neck. Feel free to have a bend here if you need to. And point your toes as you inhale. And as you exhale, flex the foot, drive the heel up, spread through the 5 toes. Do that again. Inhale, pointing, purposely moving slow. Exhale, flexing, really to get the nervous system replenished through this practice. One more inhale, pointing. And exhale, flexing, very soft through the chest and collarbones. Hug the right knee back in towards the chest. Let the right arm come out towards the side. Take a breath in. And as you exhale, we'll take a little twist over towards the left side of our mat. Maybe letting yourself roll all the way over onto that left hip. See if the shoulders can soften away from the ears. And you're welcome to turn your chin towards your right shoulder. See how that feels in your neck. Take a breath in. Easy breath out, noticing where you can locate the breath, staying connected to it as part of your experience for grounding and settling. Come back to center, full body stretch. Lengthen that right leg long, lengthen through the limbs, through the arms, navel in towards spine, gather the left knee in towards the chest, and we'll begin again on the other side. Your right leg, see about lengthening it by drawing your right heel forward, all 5 toes up towards the sky, as you gather this left thigh towards the chest. Start to roll out through your left ankle, one direction, the other. Soften through the shoulders and back of the neck. And then when you're ready, let's draw the knee out towards the side. Bring your right palm on top of your hip. And this is outward rotation. It's originating from your left hip joint. Turn it out towards the side, see what that feels like. Come back to center. And we're going to do these little circles with the knee. In one direction, the other. At the same time, the entire right hip is staying put where it is, engaging through that back right leg. And as you come back to center, draw the right thigh slightly away from you before you lengthen your leg up towards the sky. Once you're there, feel that big, nice opening through the back leg. Hands are welcome to come behind the back of the hamstrings if this is helpful for you. Start to point your left toes up towards the ceiling. Inhaling, as you exhale, flex, driving the heel up, spreading out through the 5 toes. Inhale, pointing, softening the shoulders, softening the chest. Exhale, flexing. One more of these. Inhale, pointing. And exhale, flexing. Hug the knee back in towards the chest. Let your left arm come out towards the side. Take a breath in. As you exhale, let's take a nice twist over towards the right side of the mat, getting that nice turning. Noticing the sensation, the outer left hip, along the lower back of the left side, the rib cage. And the beautiful thing about these practices, they're very adaptive. So if it feels like too much, just don't go over as much. Do a little bit less. Soften the shoulders away from the ears. And relax to the back of the head. Slowly come back to center. Hug your right knee in towards the chest. So now both knees are hugged in. And a little rocking from side to side. And then big circles with the knees. Kind of getting a nice massage through the low back and sacrum. One direction we go, and let's start to switch going the opposite direction. Let your feet land down onto the floor, pausing here. Keeping the feet about hips distance apart, parallel. We're going to lift up our hips. So let's engage our heels into the floor. Take a breath in. And as you exhale, we're going to slowly tilt the pelvis back, lifting it off the floor. We're also lifting up our lower back vertebrae and our mid-back vertebrae, creating a bridge shape in the body. Good. Take a nice breath in, inhaling. Exhale, the chest is very open and expanded, the rib cage, the belly. Feel your back of your legs engaged and working. One more inhale. And one more exhale, slowly letting ourselves place the mid-back down onto the floor, low back and hips soften. Heel toe the feet out the width of the mat. Let the knees soften towards one another as the arms can tee out towards the side if this feels nice. I always like that the palms face up. It's almost like a little kind of gesture of receptivity to these practices. As the knees fall over towards the right side of the mat, let's turn our chin towards our left shoulder and let our thighs soften down, hips soften. You're on the outer blade of your right foot, inner blade of the left. Take a breath in. Take a breath out to what you feel on the left side of the body. And then as we come back to center, plant the feet. Let the knees touch. And let them fall over towards the left side. As your shin, if it's comfortable, turn towards your right shoulder. Let your hips, thighs, everything soften down. Take a breath in. Take a breath out. Slowly come back to center. Heel toe the feet in just a smidge so that they're a little bit more parallel. And place your outer right ankle on top of your left thigh. Figure 4 stretch. As you keep the foot flexed, you're drawing your right knee or your right shin away from you. You'll keep your left foot on the floor, and you're going to just rock from side to side a little bit. So notice if you rock over to the left hip, your right hip will raise up, maintaining that figure 4 position. And then rock over towards your right hip as the left rises. Your range of motion is very specific to you. You keep listening and collaborating with yourself, not needing to pull or tug, just kind of really opening up and creating some space and grounding. And then nice and slowly, let's come back to center. We're going to open our legs up into a big wide straddle towards the sky. So big wide V. Hands can start to come behind the backs of the legs. You can flex your feet and roll out through the ankles in one direction, the other. It's nice to add on movement to a little rocking from side to side. A little sway. Keeping the sacrum on the floor, the head relaxed, toes up towards the sky, arms sweep back behind you. Take a breath in. Take a breath out. Gather the knees in, hands round, come down towards the shins, pausing. Let the feet land down onto the floor. Outer left ankle on top of right thigh, so switching sides. The foot is flexed, the left knee draws away from you, and letting ourselves rock a little bit from side to side. Rolling over towards the right hip, you'll notice the left hip is lifting, and then coming back to center, rolling over towards the left hip, right hip is lifting. You can exaggerate these movements more. Your arms can be however it feels comfortable for your shoulders and neck to feel super relaxed. And then nice and slow, we'll slow that down. We'll bring the legs out in that big wide straddle again. Hands behind the hamstrings, rolling out the ankles, anything that feels interesting to you. As you bend the knees now, hands are right behind these, the hamstrings, right behind these knees, and you're softening your thighs down towards the sides of your waist. This is happy baby variation. If you'd like to, you can walk your hands closer up towards your ankles, outer edges of the feet if you'd like to, but just make sure you feel super relaxed through the shoulders, the neck, not working too hard, keeping your sacrum nicely tucked into the floor. Add any type of movement, rocking from side to side. Soft, easy breath in and easy breath out. As you slow this down, place your feet down onto the floor. Let your hips shimmy just a little bit over towards the right, and allow your knees to stack, ankles to stack, and start to turn these knees over towards the left side of the mat. You can bring your arms in a T if that feels good. Bringing the left palm outside the right knee if you'd like to. You're in your spinal twist. So you're going to notice this rotation through the right side of the waist, outer hip, low back. Take a nice easy breath in. And soft, easy breath out. Slowly come back to center. Place the feet on the floor. Let your hips scoot a little bit over towards the left. With the stacked knees and ankles, we take a very, very gentle twist. These supine, gentle twists on our back. Left arm can come out towards the side if you'd like it to. You can let it rest by your rib cage. Take a nice breath in. Nice easy breath out. Just this remembrance. It's a beautiful breath practice, awareness practice. Connection of mind and body. So we feel this real sense of wholeness and grounding throughout our time. Very gently come back to center. Feet together, knees wide. This is Baddha Konasana, also known as round angle. Big inner thigh stretch, allowing the pelvis to stay neutral and for the low back to be compressed. Take a nice breath in. Exhale out through the mouth. Letting go, softening into the self. And when you're ready, close the knees up like a book. Take one more full body stretch, lengthening through the limbs. And we'll gather one knee in towards the chest, the opposite knee. Take your time to slowly roll over to one side of your mat. Taking a pause there, resting for a moment, and with very little effort, you'll press into your palms to come up to find a very easy seat. As you find that easy seat, however that is, find that length through the spine, natural curvatures. Let your arms rest, palms rest. And taking your right palm across your chest and then left palm across the right, like wings rested at the heart space. Take a nice breath in. Feel the breath fill up through the palm of the hands as you exhale. And then letting the palms relax down towards the floor, opening up the eyes.